Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. Happy Halloween. We're coming to you live from Halloween with our Halloween costumes, or not really costume, but we're a little festive over here today. Yeah, Ricky's got her Halloween PJs, and I've got my cat ears. I'm not a makeup artist, as you can see. I did my best. They look crooked,
So
but
cute.
I can't see nothing. So to me, it
It
looks
looks
fine.
so cute. She's the cutest cat. If you guys are watching and listening, you can't see her. She's the cutest little kitty.
It's so funny because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that this is my profile picture because when I started my account back in 2022, I think it was at the very end of the year, it was like a month after Halloween, and that was the last selfie I had. So I just threw it on there. And now we're like 3 years later, and I feel like it's been too long. I can't change it now. It would be
Yeah.
weird. So every day is Halloween in my Instagram. So, so I'm
Yeah.
like, at least I match it today. But we got a big episode for you, all treats, no tricks. We got Married at First Sight, episodes 5 and 6, right? And then season 19, we're doing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and we have a big receipt report. Well, not big, but maybe like a little bigger than usual because we got a couple big things going down with Huda from Love Island, and then another interview of the Love is Blind cast. So
Yeah.
you caught that interview. Why don't you give us the scoop on what they said?
Okay. I was like, let me grab my notes. I do feel like, so the interview was with Madison, KB, and Megan, Sparkle Megan. So it was a pretty big interview. I don't like joint interviews because I feel like you don't get the tea on just one specific person. I do feel like we didn't get really anything new in this interview, you guys. It was all things that were said on the reunion or in a previous interview already.
It was
Madison was victiming, you know what I mean? Like she's
yes.
riding this wave of Joe sucks and I'm the victim and I can't believe I endured this. To me, did you I don't know if you watched it or listened to it, but if you watched it, in my opinion, she cut KB off a lot, which was really irritating me in the interview. Like KB, when she was speaking, let Madison speak, let her go. She didn't interrupt. She didn't try and like bring a story back to herself, and Madison did that a lot. Like everything
Yes.
KB was saying, she interrupted, would add her 2 cents in, make it about herself, and then KB would literally have to like re-interrupt and like finish out her thought or finish out her story. So that was a little annoying. What did you think about it
Yeah.
overall?
Well, it was recorded back the day after the reunion, so we figured out that's about October 10th. So a long time ago. They wouldn't get into the social media tea anyways because this is Netflix's podcast called We Have the Receipts. We like to joke and just say they have no receipts because it's run by Netflix. So obviously it's just sticking to the story, what happened on screen, that's what we're talking about. It's not like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't cover anything new. It obviously would have been new if they released it when they recorded it, but now that we have the reunion, it was all the same stuff. So,
Yeah.
like you said, it sounded like KB is close or friends with Casey. So I was confused because on Caitlin Bristow's podcast, Casey said like KB kind of came for her. So I think that maybe Casey took whatever KB said wrong, maybe because she was probably just calling out something that happened and not necessarily like upset about it. But
Yeah.
we never got to see that, so we don't know what actually happened. They cut that
Yeah,
out, so
yeah, Kate, I think KB kept it very cute. She didn't say anything negative about anyone. She said she apologized to Edmund for calling him out of his name because she felt like there were some things throughout their relationship that triggered things with his mom, that Edmund had never dated a Black woman before. So I thought that, that was interesting and that kind of gives some insights into certain things, but
yeah.
nothing new was spilled. Like, I think there was no, like, they basically just went over everything that happened at the reunion. Oh, what do you think of Allie and Anton? Oh, I think they're great. What do you think of Annie having Nick's back? And it was like, oh, like KB was like, oh, they're both entitled to their different points of view. Madison was kind of
Yeah.
like, I was shocked. Obviously, we know that her and Kate are very good friends. Um, you know, literally nothing. Like,
No.
Madison repeated the same Joe story over and over again. She took little digs about, maybe, they were talking about Casey and Patrick and the whole attraction of it all. And KB was kind of expressing how, even though she said it to production, she really doesn't think that that's something that you say to someone's face, which I guess that's fair. Like, and then the host kind of joked and was like, oh, I would rather be ghosted. And she was like, or, and Madison chimes in, or, say that you prefer more petite women. Ha ha ha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really trying to ride that coattail, really trying to like make that a thing. And again,
So,
it was a lot of that. So
yeah,
really no tea. There was nothing that I was like that stuck out that was like, oh, KB didn't even talk about the whole bathroom, the bomb you dropped on me yesterday with Casey apparently pulling Edmund into a bathroom. She didn't even talk about that. She didn't address that. So maybe it's not a thing. The one thing that Madison did say, I guess this whole Brendan story has gone from, I could have sworn Kate said that Brendan was all over Kate or I'm sorry, Brendan was all over Casey and flirting with her. And now it's somehow become a kiss that they were making out. And Casey said on her interview, that's completely not true. She has no idea what anyone's talking about, but I don't know. Casey's I don't know, because what we do know is Casey is not a girl's girl, is known to go after her friends' men, other men, people's man. She a man snatcher, okay? So we don't know.
Well, they wouldn't have shown KB talking about Edmund on this podcast and Casey because they cut it out of the reunion, and so they don't give no behind the scenes tea on this podcast, so they cut that out of the podcast. They keep it very similar to what we saw. So I mean, Casey told us what happened, which was very silly of her because they cut that out so we wouldn't have known. But maybe if KB does like a solo interview, we'll actually get more information on that. Whoever's interviewing her, I'm assuming it's probably going to be the Vial Files. Like, please ask that. So I don't know if you know about it, but we need to know what happened. But again, I don't think anything went down. It was just him trying to pull her in a bathroom and chat. So I think she just put that in, like she felt attacked. Like first it was Joe, and then they talked about Brendan, and then Edmund. Like she was just kind of lumping it
and
together.
honestly, KB's mannerisms at the reunion she was not in attack mode. So,
No.
and she didn't have any sort of attitude or whatever. So I would assume that if it did come up, it probably came up in a really like respectful, peaceful manner. And Casey just felt like she was being attacked because of every other element, but I would think that KB's approach was very gentle, especially seeing her demeanor on this podcast and just on the reunion in general.
I wonder if someone else brought it up because I'll have to go listen again. I know she said, like, she talked all about the Emmett thing. And I thought she said KB had talked to her about it, but maybe it was one of the other girls that like stood up for KB.
I listened to it yesterday, and she did say that. She said that it was that KB. She said that she was intertwined in every storyline, and she felt like she was getting it every which way. She was like, at one point, Kate accused me of being with Brendan. And she literally said, KB came at me for pulling because we said that I tried to pull Edmund into a bathroom. And she said, so I come off as a man still. Like I come off like I'm just trying to pick everybody's man, which is interesting because
if I haven't told you lately, thank you again for introducing me to HelloFresh. It has literally changed my life. I no longer have to think about what am I going to make for dinner. All the ingredients and recipes come directly to my door, and 3 out of 4 parents say that their kids eat more veggies with HelloFresh, and I can totally attest to that. My kids are absolutely loving the family-friendly recipes.
I told you their menu is so big. It's literally doubled in size since I started using them. There's so many options to choose from. And the healthy meal options, if you're trying to get summertime fine in the winter, HelloFresh has got you covered, and the meals are delicious.
My favorite meals lately are coming from their new Global Street Eats kitchen, which features local favorites from around the world. Have you tried anything off of that menu yet?
Oh my God. The fried beef empanadas are literally my favorite. If you guys have been following us on socials, then you know we've been posting our HelloFresh meals. If you've tried anything, let us know. They've honestly been so fun to make and delicious.
The best way to cook just got better. better. Go to HelloFresh.com/RR10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/RR10FM to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life.
You know, we've heard from multiple sources at this point, not even Avery. Avery came on the podcast and said she was trying to sleep with my man while I was with him. But other people have said this is her MO. Like,
Oh,
she
yes.
tries to get at her friends' men. And many girls have cut her off because of this. So,
Yes, we were contacted by somebody in her life that said, yes, this is a pattern. This has been going on for a long time. This is not just the last year and a half since the show came out. She has a habit of stealing friends' men, allegedly. So, like we say, watching these shows should be like a wake up call. It's like, oh, maybe I could change this behavior. Didn't hear any of that from Casey on Caitlin's podcast. It was just very much like, I'm a victim, and she was talking about how she'd never do another show, and Caitlin was like, you should delete your social media if you're having such a hard time. And I saw her posting silly TikToks yesterday, so I don't think she should delete her social media either. But the way she made it sound on the podcast, if you were listening and you didn't follow her, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's in like a dark cave somewhere, like depressed, but she's at least posting and I think doing better now. I think it's overwhelming at first, and then they kind of accept it and realize, like, even though there's some hate online, people will be nice in person. So you just
yeah, and I
have
think
to,
she said that on the podcast. She said no one said anything mean to her in person.
yeah.
She did say that she was going through a depressive state. She's like, I forgot what concert she said she missed. The Jonas Brothers, I
Mhm.
think. She was like, I
Yes,
wasn't at the
yes.
concert because I was so depressed, and it's worse now. Like, she's in the thick of it, right? Like, since the
Yeah.
reunion, it's been even worse than before. So, but then again, you're not doing yourself any favors, because at one point, you know, you're making jokes about Patrick, saying that he played for the
Mhm.
freshman team. That's what she said.
Yes.
And then you're making jokes about Madison, like, oh well, can't be friends with them all. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you don't do yourself any favors. Like, you actually come off like looking like an asshole. I think
Yeah.
maybe that's just her sense of humor, and like maybe it's just not landing because people hate her and don't think she's funny. They're just like,
Mhm.
but one thing that I will say is that listening to the interview, it did to me sound like, I mean, there's two things, right? Because it did on one breath sound like she did have the intention to. We all know that she had no intention to date Patrick, right? And I think that's the
Yeah.
thing. It did seem like to me that she had the intention of having a conversation with him, and he got a little anxious and like didn't want to wait,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
I don't think that's her fault. I think like if you need a moment to emotionally gather your emotions and like take some time to have a conversation, I think that that's fair. And I think
Yeah.
that Patrick should have allowed her to do that. And then based on how that conversation went, we would have been able to make an assessment on if this girl really had any intention on dating him. Because what she did say in the podcast is that what production cut out was that she did like say to Patrick, I want to try in Denver. I will see you back in Denver. And that they cut that out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
She basically shat on production a lot.
Yes, she did.
She shat on them a lot. Like, she was like, there was a lot going on behind the scenes where I was just like, I'm done. You know, production was saying this, encouraging me to do this. Like, basically, like, they set her up. Like, she even used it. There's a bunch of people around you that don't have your best interest at heart, which she's obviously talking about production.
Yes. Yeah, I'm surprised that she was allowed to say that, but I mean, I think they have to defend themselves a little bit. And, you
Mhm.
know, we saw Annie and Nick do the same thing on the Viall Files about like the editing was what made them look homophobic and not their words. So they are, I guess, allowed to call production out a little bit. But
Yeah,
I think at this point, we all know things are edited. We don't see the whole story. We need the context. But seeing her on this podcast, it's kind of like, you are kind of what we thought. Like, you are
exactly.
acting exactly how you did on screen. So,
Absolutely checks out. So yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and again, I wish I could give you guys something from this Madison and KB interview, but when I tell you, like, it gave nothing. They just talked about the reunion and literally just repeated what happened at the reunion and everything they said at the reunion. They didn't
Mhm.
drop any new bombshells. I do think it's interesting that they did talk about the infamous pool party, which I guess didn't come up at the reunion. This pool party where Joe was drunk and Madison said, "Oh, you know, I'm getting all this slack online of like, I've never seen a drunk person. And she was like, I've seen a drunk person. I don't know what that was. So again, feeding into the social media that he was on something other than alcohol. I've seen
Mhm.
drunk people act exactly how Joe was acting. That's why I was like, oh, I knew he was hammered. I knew he was blacked out. Like I have
Yeah.
seen that before. Um, that's the only thing. And she was like, I don't know what that was. Like, that's the only thing that they brought up that wasn't at the reunion. Everything else was literally verbatim what happened at the reunion. It just
Yeah.
reiterated in a different font. So
Mhm. Yeah, the only other thing I found interesting was KB said immediately after filming she moved away, which I
mm,
do feel like a lot of them are not really from Denver and they just kind of like popped in to do the show. Where does Edmund live now? Do we know?
I don't know, but she did say that Edmund spent the night with her on wedding night. That's another thing that she said that I thought
Yeah.
that she was like, and she has not seen him since the wedding. That he spent
Yeah.
the night with her that night and then hasn't seen him since that day. And she's not interested in dating him ever again. She said she would
No.
be like maybe be his best friend down the line. The host didn't even finish the question of like if you would date him again. And she's
Yeah.
like, no. And she said, no
Yeah.
shame. She just doesn't know how to go backwards. But she said that that's common for her to do that when she experiences a breakup, she moves cities. So let's be
Yeah.
nice. She says she's a
Right?
social worker, so she got a
True.
new assignment. And so
Yeah.
she's in Virginia now. Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember Edmund's teacher saying like, "Oh, you had to come all the way to Denver to find this," when she had that little meeting with him. So I know we've heard a lot of them are not really from around there, but not that that really matters. But I feel bad because Denver's getting a bad rap right now. Like these people are weird.
Yeah, Madison actually, I think, is one of the only ones that's actually like from Denver. She said she knew
Yeah.
about Megan's baby. Um,
Yes,
So
she
she knew
did.
about the streets were talking in Denver, so the streets kind of knew about Megan's baby. KB said that that was her biggest surprise at the reunion was finding out about the baby. And they both did say they both weighed in on Ringgate and said that the ring was rightfully Casey's. That they all kept their dresses, they all kept their rings. None of the men asked for the ring back and kind of
Yeah.
acknowledged that they think it was more so like out of pettiness of Patrick,
Yeah,
which okay, fair.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the other receipt report, Huda has been dropped by Huda Beauty. That
Mhm.
came out today. Is there any other fallout going on from her
I think
statements?
people have been like messaging K18 and Gymshark. I think those are the only two other brands that have collabed with her. And I know Gymshark has been emailing people back and basically saying, we don't condone racism. And basically, we've worked with her in the past, but we don't have an ongoing partnership with her. That's
Mhm.
the only thing. And nothing from K18 as of yet. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not surprising. I mean, it is surprising that she is somebody that would laugh like that, but not surprising to people who didn't really like her on the show and felt like it was a matter of time when she got out of that setting that her true colors can only hide for so long, right? And that something was going to happen either between her
Yeah.
and Louis or between, like, I didn't expect this, but
Yeah.
yeah, I,
I didn't expect this. I think we all knew, yeah, we just assumed like maybe her and Louis would have like a tumultuous breakup and like something would happen along those lines. Although things don't seem to be going well for them either, I would imagine that she's not very happy with him. Like this happened on his stream. He laughed first and then she laughed after. And and the thing is like I try to like from Louis' perspective, like he is a lighter skinned black man. I'm a lighter skinned black woman. If somebody came on my stream and and I really didn't hear the name associated to it, I would think that they were talking to me, right? I would
yeah,
think calling me that, right? So I might be like, bitch, like you know
the
what I
fuck,
mean? You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Like you know what I mean? Okay, and laugh at like okay, huh? Like you trifling, person, but
hmm
but I don't believe that they didn't hear a name associated with it. I feel like it was very, very clear what this
yeah,
person did. I would imagine that she's not too happy with Louis. Is my point. I would imagine that she's trying to place blame somewhere because that's just her MO.
yeah,
And I'm assuming that blame is on Louis. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but there is a viral clip going around of like them kind of like bantering, and Louis tells her like you have bad breath. I think she said, I don't even know what she said to him to like warrant that. Like she had said something like, but it wasn't a lie. It wasn't like an insult. And then he was like, well, you have bad breath. And then she's like, no, I don't. I brush my teeth more than you. And he's like, no, like you have bad breath. Like get her some mouthwash. Like, and it's just kind of like, you're saying it on a stream. You're saying it in
Yeah.
front of like a large, massive audience. Like you're clearly trying to embarrass her. It's never a good sign when your partner is like publicly trying to embarrass you. Like
No,
that's
he's
not fair.
probably jealous. Yeah, he feels insecure and jealous. She is what he wants, right? He said publicly, "I wish I would have gone on Love Island." He wishes he had that fame without having to be with her, right? And I'm not saying he doesn't like her at all. I think they do have a real relationship, but he went after her because of her Love Island fame, and he wishes he just got that on his own. And
Yeah.
he's jealous of that, is what it seems like. I know a lot of people think they're cute and they're real, but this is just such a proving the point of why there is such a thing as PR and why when you go on a TV show and get 5 million followers, it is important who you surround yourself with and the activities you're doing, and sitting on a live stream is just not advisable, I don't think. She
Right.
could be doing so many other things. So it's just
It's not
sad to see.
advisable because you can't control it, right? Like that,
Yeah.
it's not. And I'm sorry, anybody who has watched Love Island, any management or PR, like who has watched Love Island and say it's not an insult to say, okay, this girl's a little unpredictable. Like you never know like what kind of reaction you're gonna get. So maybe sitting on a live stream where you can't control it, it happens in an instant, it stays on the internet forever. There is no editing. Maybe is not the best idea. But
Yeah.
you Hooded does not seem like the type of person to listen to advice. So I'm sure they've advised against it. I'm sure they've said, hey, this isn't a good look to be
Mhm.
sitting on live with your boyfriend when you have 5 million followers. You're the hottest thing right now. Like you could be doing so much more, and her being more concerned with making sure she's
Mhm.
by his side, making sure that people know that they're still together, making sure, you know what I mean? Making her presence in his life known being of the
Mhm.
utmost important. And it's come to bite her in her ass. And
Yeah.
she's going to learn the fucking hard way because people told you to address your racist fans before when this first started. And you didn't do it because you weren't getting any negative backlash for it. And now that
Mhm.
you are, you're learning the hard way. This may not have happened had you addressed your racist fans when they were being racist in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just sad, and I'm the first person to say mom should have a life. You're still a woman, and you still get to have a relationship and do a lot of other things. But I don't know, as a mom, it is hard for me to feel like I would want to be away from my child that much if it's not for work, right? Like I totally think it's amazing that she does these big partnerships. She's making money for her family. That
Ugh.
is great. But like sitting on a live stream with Louis, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many other things that I would rather be doing, but you try to remember, like, she just has a bit of a high school mentality, right? When you think back to that age when you're like, that's all that matters is being with your boyfriend, even if he's playing video games with his friends, you still sit
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
yeah, she seems a little immature to be doing
Yeah.
that with
And
her
she's
time.
very young, right? I think we all forget that she is like what she's like 23,
25.
24. So it's like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
I thought
25.
she was
Okay.
25.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
23 to 25,
Whatever.
somewhere in there.
Like you said, it is a very high school mentality. There is so much more she could be doing. And these live streams do not benefit her. They do not
Mhm.
benefit her. They only benefit Louis. Like literally, there's also a clip going around where people are gifting in the stream and she's like, don't gift, like save your money. And he's like, gift more. I'm gonna end the stream if you guys don't gift. And she's like, stop.
Ugh.
Like, like she's obviously like, stop. And he's like trying to act like he's being playful, but he's serious because you're streaming because people are gifting and giving you money. It's a source of income for him. And unless he's splitting that money with her, like it really does
I
no
hope he is. Yeah, I really hope he's splitting all his club fees with her, all of this. I'm sure he is, but either way, I don't even know why we're trying to give her advice. I haven't seen any behavior that makes her seem like a good person, but
Yeah, we're not giving
we'll
her
see.
advice.
She's
We're
young,
giving her
right?
yeah, who the fuck, you know what I mean? We're not, this is our opinion. This is what we would do if we could go back in time
Yeah,
and be 20 fucking 3 with 5 million
totally.
followers and brands dropping me like hotcake. I would disassociate from Louis so fucking quick. Like,
Yeah.
and just try
Yeah,
and
I mean,
fast.
not a lot of people get away with I'm not gonna call him a deadbeat, but, what we've seen from his child's mom posting, not a lot of people get away with that. They usually get called out. It's a really bad look. It's not someone we wanna look up to, someone that's not being a good parent, right? And so he's gotten away with that because the mother of his child doesn't really speak out against him, but, yeah, just all of these things that we're seeing is not like someone that we should be giving millions of followers to
Yeah,
and brand deals and lifting them up,
yeah,
so
yeah, and
but
I
here I
think
am
it's showing. It's
calling
showing.
Hood immature, but I'm sitting here in a Halloween costume as an adult, so
And, you
we're all a
know,
little immature, but
you're
nothing
not
wrong
old
with
to
that.
you're never too old to dress up, and at the end of
No,
the day,
I love Halloween, so
true true colors are showing, and people have this idea that you can't be racist if you date black men or if you have black children. That is so not a thing. People have been talking
Mhm,
about the microaggressions towards Olandria and Shelley throughout the entire season. You know what I mean? And people just couldn't see it, and then it comes out in ways like this to where she has to learn the hard way. And I'll say it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. If she would have addressed it when it wasn't directly affecting her, we may not be here, but here we are, and she has to learn the hard way. So that's the
yeah.
latest on Huda. She is now currently getting dropped by brands. Louis, not so much because he didn't have any brands that he was partnering with. He didn't have any big sponsorships. So he's essentially got nothing to lose.
He will be coming to a club in a small Canadian town near you because that's what he likes to do,
Yeah,
so
and maybe not even that. Shit, maybe not even that right now.
I
So
hope not. Well, should we get on to Married at First Sight?
yes.
Yeah, we're on episode 6. I think they should call it passive aggressive at first sight because that's what all these couples are. Like, the honeymoon is over. I'll
Have
say that.
really bad, communication skills, like,
Yeah,
conflict
it's
resolution skills are
crazy.
on a 0, like.
Well, so the episode started with Will and Brittany. So this was after she ran off and had her chicken fingers, and now they're
Mhm.
back together. So what did you think of their chat?
Um, it's it's really bizarre, right? Because they have these explosive fights or what seems like an explosive fight, and then they're able to come together after the
Hmm.
fact and, like, reach a common ground, and then things seem fine, and then it's like the same problems just keep resurfacing.
Yeah, he's kind of like patronizing with her, right? And like condescending is the way it comes
Yeah,
across. Like
yeah.
there was a point later where she said, "I'm thinking," and he was like, "Don't hurt yourself," and like he's got those little digs at her, right?
And I think his little love language is this banter that we talk about, right? Like there's a way to
Hmm.
have that banter without insulting your partner. And there's a
Hmm.
way to have a playful relationship to where it's not offensive, right? They are not at that point where you can make big head jokes and
Yeah.
dumb joke. Like they're not at the point. Like everything is like very sensitive and heightened. And I think she's made it clear that she doesn't really like that banter. She doesn't really appreciate that, and it just comes off as he's and there's something up with Will, and I
Hmm.
think it's that he's faking. He's a character. Every time the camera's on, he's putting on this character. He's using these big words and he's trying to act all educated and act like he knows everything about everything. And then everything is so understanding. Everything is like, yes, I get it. If you feel that, I want you to feel it. Don't worry
Hmm.
about how if you need that, you do that, and it's like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." Like, shut
Yeah.
that hole in your face. And then I also don't think that I don't know. It's like sometimes I think Brittany is doing a good job at communicating, and then sometimes I very visibly see her shutting down and like not
Hmm.
knowing what to say.
Yeah.
And then it's reflected in her face. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could totally see the attitude just all over her face.
Hmm. Yeah, their conversations are painful to watch, and it's not getting any better, but we'll get there. Derek and Megan talk about the kid differences. Like she just wants 1, he wants 2 to 3. They're both 38, which she's like, we better start right away. Which I guess, yeah, as you get, well, 35 is geriatric for pregnant people. If you didn't know that, so
Oh, jeez. Okay.
yes, they call you geriatric, but
That's
I think
so
people
rude.
use right. It's like 35 is a baby. What do you mean geriatric? But I guess it is a genuine concern, right? But there's many different ways to have kids now. So I didn't realize when she said I want one child that that was why, because she just thought we only have time for one. So she might
Yeah.
be able to be convinced, but he he's kind of he's like, "Oh, what are you worried about? Like childbirth? Like it's gonna hurt? Like what's the big deal?" And he never has to do it, right? So
Yeah,
it's hard to take
yeah,
him
actually,
seriously.
yes, it's people sometimes lose their life giving birth, so yes, I'm very concerned,
Literally.
like, you know
Oh,
what I mean? I'm very concerned about it, like, boys are
if
just so
I never realized till I had kids how life-threatening it is and
Mhm.
that, like, a lot of people don't make it, and you're really putting your life at risk. Like, you just hear all these stories like, "Oh, they had a baby, lovely," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, that probably was a rough day when the baby's born," but no, there's so many complications. So
Yeah,
I had something crazy called postpartum preeclampsia. Usually you get it while you're pregnant. I got it after, which is very rare and it's harder to like catch. So
yeah,
it's very dangerous. So we have any pregnant listeners, get yourself a home blood pressure checker because once you have your baby, they send you home and they're like, you're fine. And sometimes you're not. So
and here in the States, they send you home the next day, bitch, like, it's not like
yeah.
you're not even in the hospital for, like, 24 hours. I'm like, hello, like, new moms who don't know how to breastfeed, who don't know how to
Yeah.
and it's like if you have a C-section, they keep you for a little longer, but yeah, they just let
Hmm.
you go, like, my
No,
sister
they do that here too. So
oh,
you
okay,
get
I thought
24
maybe you
hours.
you they I thought maybe they keep you a little longer. No, they don't give a
C-section, yes.
okay,
C-section, you get 2 days, I think, and
yeah,
then, yeah, if you don't have a C-section, I think you go home, like, the next day, basically,
yeah,
so, yeah, and
mhm,
it's scary because 'cause you're literally if you had a C-section, you went through a major surgery, and there's things that go wrong, not trying to scare anyone, but
yeah,
yeah, if you keep a track on how you feel after you give birth and it my blood pressure started going up the last, like, month of my pregnancy, but never to, like, a scary level, but if you have that happen, get a home checker because I almost didn't get it, and it would've been bad. My blood pressure was 220 over 120 the day I
oh,
went back
wow,
to the hospital,
oh, wow,
which this time of year always reminds me of because my son was born on the 26th of October, and when I went
mhm,
back to the hospital was the 30th, and the person that, like, was doing all my stuff was dressed as a minion. So, it's not fun when you have to go to the hospital for something serious and they're in a costume.
yeah,
I'll
you're
tell
like
you that. It's like getting a catheter from a minion is a terrifying experience, so you
yeah,
never wanna do
I'm
that.
like, "Put
So,
that fucking costume on."
it's creepy, and you don't think of that, right? Because you see, like, nurses and doctors go in costume, which is so sweet for someone that's there for nothing serious, but some people are there for, like, life-threatening things,
Yeah,
and you're
just
like,
dress up as a doctor, please,
yeah,
okay? Like,
right.
dress up
Yeah.
as himself, like, but yeah, that I think that that was one of the conversations where I, like, was like but Megan, let's make it perfectly clear, Megan
Yeah.
is, in my opinion, a psychopath. Like, she is so argumentative and so
Yeah.
combative and so like, the fact that she thinks everything's an attack. She takes everything and I think she even used the word, like, "I feel attacked," and I'm like,
Yeah.
when he is approaching you in the most gentle way, which we will get there, because as a dog mom, who is, like, very serious about her dogs when I had dogs, but,
Mhm.
we'll get there to that conversation, but Megan
The
is in
dog well, I think we can talk about that now. The only thing before that was Pat and Rhonda that's her name, right? Rhonda? Yes.
yeah, mhm.
Having the fight about well, not a fight, but he got out of a relationship 6 months ago, and she finds that to be a very big deal. Do you think that's a big deal?
I think it's a big deal.
Oh,
I
really? Because I
think
was
it's a big
like,
deal.
"What's the big deal?" I mean, they're not that
6
old, but when you're
months.
older, you don't have
Uh,
the time to, like, spend a couple years on your own and figure your stuff out. Like, you figured your stuff out at that age, no? Or
I get that, but I also get it's kind of the same thing to me. Not the same thing, but the same
mhm,
sentiment of Chad having 4 divorces, right? It's a red flag, essentially. I don't think it's
mhm.
a huge deal, but I think it's a red flag because it does pose the question of you just wanna fucking be with somebody. You just don't want to
Yeah.
be alone. And so now that's over, you're rushing into like, if you're rushing into like dating somebody else because you don't have the time, you're just rushing into a marriage because you just don't want to be alone. Like,
Yeah.
and
That's
I
true.
don't
Have
know.
they told us, has he spent, like, a few years on, like, what was the timeline? His marriage ended, and then has he always had relationships? That's more important to me than, like, okay, he got out of a relationship 6 months ago, but was there a period after his marriage that he spent a few years on his own,
I
or a
don't know.
year?
I don't know that they've clarified that. I did think it was
Mhm.
interesting that I feel like Rhonda is going to lean towards maybe wanting to keep separate households. I don't we're not
Yes.
there yet, but I feel like that's where it's going.
Mhm,
And I know she said she hasn't cohabitated since 99 and he's like
mhm.
it's been 7 years. But I'm like you've been living with your mama for the last year and a half so you have been cohabitating with somebody. Like, you know?
Yeah. And interesting that he was in a relationship for 3.5 years and they never got to that living together stage. So I wonder what the story was there because you would think maybe that's too soon to move in. I don't know.
No, I think I no, 3.5 years, no, bitch. We better be
Yeah.
engaged.
Going
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, some people prefer not to live together until they're married. Um,
Mhm. I
but
wonder why they broke up too. Like that's important. Like if he got dumped by this woman, then and maybe there's still feelings there or like some kind of resentment or longing, then yeah, it's a little weird. But it's like if he was checked out of that relationship for a long time and finally they ended and you had like mentally moved on and then it was 6 months technically alone, that's not so bad. So it just kind of
yeah,
depends
we need
on
some
who.
specifics. I need to
Yeah.
hear from Chad and Pat's exes. Like, I just feel like
Yes.
there's some tea there. There's something. There's always some tea with older people. Like, there's something there that's not quite right because
Hmm.
Chad and Belinda are. I don't feel like she likes him.
No, I mean, what did you think of that conversation with the producers? I didn't realize they're right there in the conversation, like, giving them, like, lines, basically. Did you know
Yeah,
that that was
no.
happening?
No, I
Oh.
thought to me, initially, it seemed like he's trying to find the words of something nice to say, and he can't have anything nice to say. He doesn't have anything nice to say, but then I realized he was distracted because production was right there and he was focused on them, which made more sense. Like, that made more sense besides, like, just not having anything nice to say. I don't think
Mhm.
he was that rude to them. I think he, like, expressed, like, some frustration, but I didn't think it was over the top or, like, extra rude. I think she overreacted.
Yeah, I definitely felt like he was maybe a little not angry, I don't know what the word, maybe just it wasn't
Frustrated.
as he yeah, like, he could have dealt with it a little bit lower, like, just been like, I get distracted when you guys are interrupting me, can you just give me some time to think? Like, this is a lot, this is overwhelming," but he didn't get angry. I think he had the right to be annoyed in that moment, and so she should have maybe been more understanding, right? But, it could be a red flag to maybe a bit of a temper thing because they are on camera, there is all those people there, and he got a little mad, so it's like if no one was around, would he get more mad? He's had 4 divorces, so it's like has to be something
Anger.
that's
Yeah.
not fixable, so I could see him having a temper. I don't think he was, like, raging here or anything, but it just felt like a small, small thing that he could have just explained better. But I do think she took it, a little too to heart. Like,
And I'm thinking maybe there's something we didn't see, right? Like, maybe
yeah,
there was something worse that he said, or maybe he, like, really went off on them, because what we saw, I was definitely like, "Okay, he kinda just said, 'You guys are throwing me off,' like, my mood," and then you hear them apologize, and then she has this really stale attitude in the bed, and then he's like and she said, like, "Can you screw up less?" Like, it was like
I
happened.
wrote that down too.
Think about me in these situations, and I was like, I didn't think like, I could see how that's frustrating, and you guys are feeding me lines and throwing off my thought process, and now it looks like I don't even like, we were having, like, a nice romantic moment, and you guys kinda threw that off for me. I could see I feel like I would get frustrated too. I do
Yeah,
think, though, that there's maybe some hidden anger issues there, but I don't think that was what was reflected in what we saw. So I
no.
was like I was a little thrown off by Belinda's response. I'm like, there's something that we didn't see.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, once the cameras do go down, is he a lot more angry? Is there a lot more going on? Because I noticed when they walked out, he was like so red. Like, he looked like maybe he did get more mad or he was like holding it in. But I mean, you have the right to get upset, and I don't think he was disrespectful necessarily to anybody. He was just maybe just she felt like it wasn't warranting his reaction. But she didn't need she said she was like scared or something, right? And that was weird. Like
I
what
did
is she
I
referring to?
rewound it 3 times because I couldn't understand what she said. I thought initially she said, I don't know why I thought she said she wanted to sleep somewhere else. That's what I thought I heard, but then
Mhm.
I kept rewinding it because she's like, like, and I'm like, "What did she say? Is that what she said, though? That she's scared?"
Yeah, I think she said she was scared and he was like, "Of what?" And then she explained it as sort of not that you're gonna hold it against me, but she's like, "I wanna stand up for myself," but she's worried about the repercussions, basically. So that to me is giving like he is a little angry, but
Mhm.
he seems I thought he did really a good job of apologizing, taking
Same,
accountability, 'cause I
same.
if he did have an anger problem, I feel like that small thing at the dinner would have escalated a lot when they got alone, and we'd see what we see from these other couples who are like, "Oh, well, you're attacking me now," and him getting all upset, but he was just accepted what she said, apologized, took accountability, and I felt like she could have let it go then, but yeah, there must be something we're not seeing. He's probably
Yeah,
maybe different off camera than he's
yeah.
being on
Yeah, I
camera.
don't know, they just seem he seems like he likes her, she doesn't seem like she likes him that much, that's just my
No.
opinion, and then her daughter and her man are just
Yes.
fucking peachy keen, like sunshine and
Yeah.
rainbows, there's nothing not they're so cute and, like, seem like the perfect match and, like, no issues, like,
I
everything's
know.
going well, so
Th They're the only 2 that are not having these little fights and passive aggressiveness and triggering each other
yeah,
but we also haven't really seen them have any conflict, right? There is a couple things where she's, like, not as into the jumping off the boat or whatever in the outdoors, but she kind of expresses she doesn't like it, then she does try it, like, they handle it all so well, he doesn't
yeah,
really push her too much, so
yeah,
I wanna see them at Burning Man, we'll see how that goes, but
yeah, yeah, so we'll
they
see
don't
some
seem to have a lot of, reasons for conflict yet, so
yeah,
smooth sailing for them.
smooth sailing for them, at least there's one
But
couple because everybody else got
yes,
fucking issues.
we always need one we can root for, right? We missed that on Love Is Blind this season, but we've got it here, which is nice. Derek and Megan, when they get back to well, so they all go back home to where are we? Austin, right?
Yeah, mhm.
Yes, into the shared living, and Derek and Megan are having some issues with her having a dog. He seems like scared of dogs or something, and it's
He
I thought it was kind of a big,
definitely is
scary
giving
dog.
a vibe that he does not like dogs, and I think he knows that that is such a big deal to her, and if he says that, he knows that that's a deal breaker because that's a deal breaker
Mhm,
too, and I think it was her that said no, I think it was actually Belinda that said, "I need to see how he treats my dog because that's gonna be really telling." I
mhm,
think that he I get both of their sides, right? Because I personally would not ask like, asking somebody to walk your dog is, like, a very like, you have to really trust that person, right? Anything can happen
mhm,
on a walk, they can get off the leash, they can I need to know that if my dog got off of the leash or if a dog attacks my dog, I need to know that you are gonna protect this dog with your life the same way I
mhm,
would. So if I don't feel that from you, I would not even task somebody with the responsibility of walking my dog.
mhm.
Now, I could and if somebody told me they had an issue with walking my dog, I would have had the same response. "You'll never walk my fucking dog again. You don't have to fucking
Yeah.
worry about it." But from his perspective, I think he thought, "Okay, I'm gonna we'll walk the dog together a few times
Yeah,
just so that I know how to do it." That's where I thought he was coming from. Like, "I don't know how to walk a fucking dog. Like, I don't have a dog. You're asking me to walk the dog. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I thought we were gonna maybe walk the dog together." And,
yeah,
like, and once I get the hang of it, then you can then task me with walking the dog, but up until then, I'm a little uncomfortable, and I think that he didn't wanna say, "I'm uncomfortable walking the dog because
yeah.
I don't know how to walk the dog," and more so than, like, it's not my responsibility, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, it is a lot to sort of expect of someone right away, and she just could have approached it better. Like, yeah, let's do some walks together. Let him warm up to the dog, right? Let him get comfortable with it. And anyone, unless he's a monster, he's gonna love the dog too. It's just gonna take a minute. So yeah, I know, so
So
sweet. I thought it was gonna be like this huge dog, like the way he was talking about all being all worried, and it's just a cute little fluff ball. So I
yeah,
think the way she went about it is she should have given him time, right? Let him say, "Can I walk the dog today?" You know, it is silly and like yes, it would have been great if right off the bat he's like, "Let me take this dog out," but she needs to accept, like think of it from his mindset of just let him warm up, right? And because
right.
you're not just giving it a nice little walk, I'm assuming you got to pick up the poop. It's a whole thing, right? And
It's a
so
whole thing. It's a
I've
whole thing.
never had a dog either. Don't judge me, guys,
Yeah,
but
no, but you have to
I've
such
only
a
had cats.
stability, and it's such an adjustment if you're not used to
Hmm.
having a dog. And it's like I get from her perspective being so defensive about your dog because I was the
Hmm.
same way. When I was dating this guy, whenever I would go over, I had to bring my dog because she was a senior dog. She was losing her eyesight. So I would never leave her by herself. And she went everywhere with me in her last
Hmm.
years of life. Like she went everywhere with me. Like I don't care if I went to lunch, if I went to work, if I went to anywhere, the gym, she came with me, so I would bring her and I would bring her little playpen and I would put her
Hmm.
in her little playpen and let her kind of walk around. And he made a comment like, I can't sometimes I can't sleep when she's here because I hear her little paws going throughout the night, and I got so offended. I was like, "I will never bring her over here again. You don't have to worry about
Hmm.
it. I won't come over since she's not welcome." And I never went over his house again. Like I
Oh
never,
my
what
gosh.
I mean? And it's like I took such offense to that, but he was just saying like sometimes it's hard to sleep because I hear her paws.
Yeah.
I'm not used to hearing paws. Me, I'm used to hearing her pause because, you just kind of shut it out. So
Yeah.
I get being like instantly defensive about it, but
Hmm.
I felt like he approached it in such a sensitive way, in such a nice, calm way that she overreacted. Oh, so you're the only one that compromises? And she literally could not give an excuse of how he was compromising. And it's
Hmm.
like the dog sleeping in the bed for somebody who's not used to a dog sleeping in the bed is a big deal for somebody. So you would think, Megan, if he's already compromising and letting the dog sleep in the bed, keep the dog on your side of the bed.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. She
that's what I
just.
would do. I would take a diver and I would tuck her. I would tuck her right here to where she's on my side. Boom.
Yeah.
And you can't crawl over or because she's definitely like, I like to, even when my friends come over, I'm like, bitch, this is her bed. She sleeps in the bed. And she likes to sleep right between your legs, and she likes to go to the person that she doesn't know. Like she wants to
Hmm.
go over to the person and sleep right between their legs. And it's like my friends at some point got used to it. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, welcome. She could come. But I would
Uh,
try my best until he's used to it to just keep the dog on your side,
hmm.
because her not sleeping in the bed is not an option. Like I get
Yeah.
that. Like you could just fucking leave then, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, she just needed to give it time and let him get comfortable and do it on his own time, right? Instead, it's like she is defensive, immediately being like, I don't think he likes her. This isn't going to work out, right? And so she's just expecting a lot out of him. But then again, like, it is concerning a bit because when you have kids, right? It's a lot of responsibility and you kind of want that person that is going to step up. And it would have been amazing if he was like, she's your dog. I love her because I'm with you and I'm gonna try and do all this right away. But it's overwhelming. They just got married. They just got a new place. Like it's a dog. You never had a dog. It's so much.
Like, you really have to take that approach. You really have to be a dog person, right? Because you
Hmm.
see how she responded. Is her name Jaden? Jalen? Jaden.
Jalen.
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 How
Hmm.
she responded to his dogs, right? Like, she was like, oh my God, so cute. Look at his
Yeah.
diaper. That's how you put it on. Super easy. I could tell she's dog
Hmm.
person off
Yeah.
the bat. He's not a dog person. So to
Hmm.
expect somebody who's not a dog person, like some people don't get it. Like my trainer is a dad. He's a great dad. He loves his daughter. He does not get the whole dog thing. He does not
Yeah.
get the whole treat dog like a kid thing. Like, he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So you really have to be a dog person to come in and adapt to, like, being a dog parent. Like, I genuinely, like, believe that. So,
Yeah.
I think he's doing his best. I think he's doing a really good job. I think that she's just defensive and impatient, but also, like, that's how she handles all conflict. Like, she can't
Mhm.
really take any criticisms against herself without taking it as an attack, for sure.
Mhm. What did you think of him not using cleaning products and using vinegar?
I think that my sister's very, like, strange in that sense too. Like, she doesn't like toxic and chemicals. I
Mm.
think I think use vinegar and dilute the smell somehow, like, add a fragrance to it, add some lemon to it, add that. But for her to say that that was her compromise because she doesn't want a house to smell like vinegar
Mm.
is strange. Like,
Yeah. It's so
yeah,
funny how you don't realize all these little quirks that people have and that's just what they're used to, and it's
yeah,
hard to, like, compromise on these things that
yeah.
when you live alone, you don't have to. Like, Rhonda and Pat, what do you think about her not living with anyone since 1999, and will she be able to
I don't think she'll be able
change
to
that?
cope. No, I don't
No.
think she'll be able to change that. I think that she's gonna propose, I mean, she kind of alluded to it, like, I think we need to
Mhm.
have a conversation about cohabitating. I think she's gonna be like, "I think we should keep our separate spaces," because she's
Mhm.
so used to being by herself. And
Mhm.
she even, I think at one point said, like, it's starting to feel a little smothering, which that can
Yeah.
happen when you're so used to being by yourself. And I think, like, you have said in your marriage, like, the reason why it works is because we live our separate lives, we do our separate
Mhm.
things, and then we come back together and live our life together,
Yeah.
and that's why you've been able to have this long lasting marriage. If you guys are under each other 24/7, like, it's not gonna work. And I feel like that's what Pat
No.
likes, though. It seems like
Mhm.
that's what he likes, is, like, to be with your partner all the time and have a partner all the time and be up each
Yeah.
other's ass all the time. And she's like, "Nah,"
What did you think of their final fight with they had what's her name? I know Pastor Cal, right? And then there's
What did he say that offended her so bad? What did he say? What did he say?
she's been telling him all along, like, "This is what you're doing wrong, this is what you're doing wrong," and he's trying to work on it, and that she has every right to do that, but then he
Right.
finally was like, "Well, this is what you do," and she lost her mind.
What?
I think it triggered her so much because it's exactly what we said about her when we first met her in the first episode. She has this big, bold, passionate personality, but that
Mhm.
always has a flip side to it, right? And so
Yeah.
she's great in those good moments, but she also can get mad, and she literally proved the point of, like, this is your personality. You have big feelings, big emotions. It's not always a good thing, and she's
Yeah.
clearly been told that a lot. And so I don't know why that's sort of weird, right? Like, why get so shocked and emotional and upset if you have been told this? So either work on it, change it, or say, yeah, this is me, and the good comes with the bad, and can you handle that? So she
Yeah.
just it was strange to get upset over, "This is what I always get told," and then be shocked at the same time. It's like
It was bizarre. It was so bizarre that she has been telling him about himself and, like, trying to make himself reflect so much. Like, she got so offended that she told him about this bike club, and then he was like, "Oh, I think I've heard of it." And she took such offense to that. And I didn't think in that moment, in past conversation, I have seen how he's, like, making a moment about himself and, like, not
mhm,
asking her about herself. And you see him say, like, she's showing me her house. I'm not gonna try and relate it back to myself. I'm not gonna ask these questions. So he really is trying. And I didn't
mhm,
feel like he was doing that in the bike conversation. I feel like he was just saying, "Oh, I think I've heard of this. Like, I think there's a group that rides on Sundays." And she took such offense to it. You've been calling out his behavior. And the minute and I think he waited to say it in front of the marriage coach because he didn't wanna hurt her feelings, and
mhm.
she got so in a tizzy about it. And it's like, he should be able to help you self-reflect the same way you're helping him self-reflect. And then she goes on this walk with her dogs, and she's talking about, "Now he's never gonna say anything because of my reaction." Yeah.
Yeah. So stop doing that. Like, you
Yeah,
really need
like,
to
girl,
change.
I don't know how to get out of the circle, like, maybe don't react like that when he is trying to say just like you didn't want him to get defensive and red
Mhm,
whenever, because he was getting all red too when she was saying shit about him.
mhm.
But it's like you didn't want him to get defensive, so how about you just got defensive? Like, oh lordy lord, it's all
Yeah.
going
Well,
to
hopefully
shit.
that's like a breakthrough moment for her, right? And she can change going forward. So we'll see. I think it's hard at this age. They're kind of set in their ways. She's lived alone for 25 years, and her kids even said, like, sometimes, like, it has to be his way. Like, obviously, her kids have dealt with this.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I don't know. Knowing that that's your personality and how set you are in your ways to go on a show where you're marrying someone you're just meeting is very risky. So
yeah, yeah.
I'll see if they can figure it out. But what did you think of Will and Brittany going to see her house? Did you agree with Brittany's getting so upset over his reactions?
No. So this was one that I didn't agree with Brittany on.
Hmm.
I think, you know, when you have an expectation of somebody you don't know to react, like, I don't know if she wanted him to be like, "Oh, this is so
Yeah.
amazing. This is so great. This is so," like, I don't know what she wanted. I felt like he was like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, okay. Good. Nice. Okay."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Cool. Like, yeah, amazing. Like, not everyone's gonna react the same way you want them to, and then I
Hmm.
think that I think she's very sensitive when it comes to him because she does not know if he likes her, and
Yes.
so I felt like his response to the house was fine, and then I feel like, he tried to, like, again, with this banter, like, tried to banter about her bringing so much clothes and all her stuff, and then she got offended by that, and I felt like she's being too
Hmm.
sensitive, like, you know what I mean? He is annoying, he sucks, but you're like, in this specific fight, I felt like she was doing too much.
Yeah, I think it's because she's a words of affirmation person and she's really not really insecure, but a little insecure and needing way more feedback from him. And he's just not a feedback guy, right? And she wanted him to come in there and say, "Wow, this is so impressive that you bought your own house. Like, that's so rare. And I'm so amazed by you." And that she needs to understand that that's not him. That's not his personality. And he's not ever going to give that to her. So that's gonna be something I don't think they can get over because she really needs that kind of feedback from
Yeah,
him, and he
for sure.
does not provide that, and I don't think that's something you can just change or you're being fake, right? So
Yeah, but I think the marriage coach said it the best, like, he can't read your mind, so I think
mhm,
that I don't know if she's telling him, like, I'm a words of affirmation person, like, I need reassurance
mhm,
constantly, because I think we saw that too at the end where she was like, "I like you," and
mhm.
he didn't say anything back, and she was like, "And you like me too."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Duh." You know what I mean? So I think that is something that she's really gonna have to drill into his head and say, "I like words of affirmation like this. Like, this is I need you to," because she says, like, he compliments me. He does, like, he does, like, give me compliments, and he does tell me I'm pretty, and he does, and I think to him, he thinks that that's the type of affirmation she needs to compliment her.
mhm,
Tell her that I like her, but I think she needs, and that's the thing is, like, people can be doing something, but it's not the way you want them to do it, so you overlook it,
yeah,
right? So, him
mhm,
complimenting you is probably his words of affirmation, but no, you need very specific reassurance, you know?
mhm.
Um,
Did he say he owns a house too, or is it just her?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because that might be she was maybe in her head thinking, like, he's gonna feel less than because he's not a homeowner and I am, and so she went into it thinking, like, he's gonna be mad about this, and then he was just being regular, and she's like, "Oh," not liking his reaction, so I
Or
think she does that
maybe,
a lot. She
yeah,
wants
maybe she
she
thinks
wants him to act a certain way, and if he doesn't, then it's like, "Oh, he doesn't like me," so
yeah,
mhm.
yeah, I agree. I think she wanted him, like you said, to be so wowed by this house, but, like, what if he also has a house? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's a where he's like, "Okay, cool, bet, dope. This is dope. This is a nice spot." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, maybe that it's not, like, super impressed. Like, I understand that you're proud of it and it was a major accomplishment, but maybe and it is, right? But maybe he
Mhm.
also has a house, or maybe he also, like, and I
Yeah.
think, like, you can't expect the reaction that you're gonna give to people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you have to, and if you you want a little more, like, be like, dang, be a little bit more excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you guys are strangers at the end of the day. I feel like
Mhm.
she overreacted in that scene, and then she's like, oh, and then he's gonna pick on me for all the stuff I'm bringing. He's not picking on you. He's trying to have banter, and it's not
Mhm.
landing because you guys don't know each other.
Yeah, I just think their communication styles are so different, their love languages are so different. I don't see how they're gonna get on the same page, and also they're not having sex anymore, right?
They're not having sex, so
No.
that's another thing that she brought up, and we cut to this scene. We keep going to these scenes of them, like, having problems and then being okay,
Mhm.
and then here we are having the same problem again, and this instance is the sex. She wants to have sex, she wants to feel desired. The first time that they had sex was obviously very awkward and weird, so he's trying to avoid that and doesn't wanna have sex anymore,
Mhm.
which essentially is gonna make any woman feel
Yeah.
rejected, desired,
You
s
gotta give her something. If you're not giving the physical affirmation, then give the words, like, he's what did you think of his pink lacy shirt? Did you like that?
I feel like it was very on brand.
He
The thing
wears a lot of jewelry. I'm not a jewelry girl, and I don't wear any, so I'm like, "This is a lot. This looks itchy to me." I'm just not a jewelry
Yeah, he
person.
had the pearls on, he had the dangle earring on, he had the pink lace shirt on. I don't know that I would want my man to wear lace at all. I don't care if it's black. I don't I'm not a lace girl. I like to wear lace. Like, I let me wear the lace,
You don't
but
want matching lace outfits with
no,
your man.
we don't need 2 bad bitches in this relationship. We only need 1. So, I think it's very on brand for Will. I think I'm starting to see why maybe he doesn't wanna be intimate or, like,
He's
I don't know.
Yeah, he's not helping himself. Like, yeah, he's not seeming like he wants this to work out. That's all it seems like, right? Like
Yeah.
I do feel like she is telling him, "This is what I need. This is what I want," and he just won't do it. Like he could have gone in there and been like, "Damn, nice house, good job," and like left it at that. But he's like, sometimes when you do feel like someone refuses to give you a compliment or like congratulate you on something, I think she's thinking he's being like that, but I don't think in his head he's being like that. So they're
Yeah,
just
I
on
think,
such
like you said,
different pages.
we're on such different. And I think she said that, right? Like, we're not even on different pages, like, we're in different books, and it's
Hmm.
almost like I think just like, on Love Is Blind, like, they put people in the pods that are an absolute hell no shit show. I think the same thing goes for this show. They put together like, instead of matching them on compatibility, they match them on these 2 are so not compatible, it's gonna be funny to put them together. Like, I think they
Hmm.
do the same thing because I think just in general questions, like, "What's your communication style? What's your love language?" Like, they knew that they were on complete fucking opposite ends of the spectrum, so
Yeah. Yeah, they probably have a couple, like, dumpster fire matches and then a couple sure things like Josh and Jalen. So,
Mhm,
any
mhm.
other thoughts about these couples? I mean, we did see at the end they all had meetings with Pastor Cal and the other girl, and I think they all went fairly similarly. Like, they
Yeah,
were having
we
these
see Chad and Belinda's, no?
No, and not Jalen and Josh, right? I think it
Okay,
was
they must
just
be in the next episode, yeah.
yeah. We saw the ones that were having these big communication issues. We saw
Mhm.
them try to work through that. So, but yeah, they don't seem. I could see Rhonda hopefully taking that like at the end with the dogs, where she kind of called out what the problem is, and then changing. So we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
you
so
think?
based on these couples so far,
Mhm.
we'll wait till we get to 7 till I ask you that.
Okay, yeah, we got one more. We're just doing 5 and 6 today to give you guys some time to catch up, but we'll be back to do 7, and we're gonna do Real Housewives of Salt Lake now too.
Yeah.
This was a really good episode of Salt Lake City. I love the below deck crossover. It was so funny. Where did they go? Canawan? Am I saying
Canoa,
that right?
yeah.
Yes.
Never been
Where is
there,
that?
so
Okay.
no freaking idea, girl. Like, no idea.
They were very excited to see Captain Jason. Have you heard of Captain Jason? What did you think? Do you think
No, I
he's
haven't
hot?
heard of
Because
him. Is it like I didn't think he was hot or anything, but I see why maybe they would think he's hot. Does
they're
he be
obsessed.
he be smashing the guest or?
apparently he was at the last BravoCon, and I know he was a hot commodity. All the Bravo housewives are obsessed with him. So,
Okay.
yes, he's the captain. I can't remember which one he does. Which Australia? There's a few. There's like Below Deck Med, which we watched. Then there's regular Below Deck. So he's one of the captains. There's a few. We met
Okay.
Captain Sandy. So he's like Captain Sandy, but just on a different boat. So,
Okay.
do
Okay.
you think he really hooked up with Heather?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think she would lie about that, but she
I don't think
seems
she'd lie. They seemed like they
no.
had a little flirty energy. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
think
when
he
you
did.
were
But for her to be like, "Yeah, we hooked up," and then trying to pass him to the homie, like, that's kinda crazy.
I kind of feel like he's been passed to a lot of homies. Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? Because we're going to BravoCon and there's a Salt Lake City panel, and they let people get up and ask questions, which I never would have done in a million years before. But I feel like you have the confidence to get up there and ask the questions that I never could. So you guys will have to send us some good questions that we can ask, because
Yeah.
that would be so, and, like, if you ask a good question, like a good shady or a good funny, like, it goes viral because everyone's recording you, of course, because all
Yeah.
the Bravo content creators are there, so
Yeah.
we'll think of some funny things to ask.
Yeah, you
Because
guys let us know in the comments what are some, like, jaw-dropping questions that you would wanna ask anybody that would be at BravoCon because me and Ashley will ask, so let us.
well, you will ask while I sit in my chair and record you.
Yeah.
Actually, oh, I don't know if I can say this. Oh, to say last time I went with someone who gave their number to a Bravo celebrity, and I did record her doing that, but I can't remember if we shared that publicly or not. So,
Oh,
but
did he call?
you're
Did he
single.
call? Did he
No,
call?
he had a girlfriend. We didn't know, so
Oh,
he did
okay.
not call, as far as I know, unless she kept that part from me, because he
Oh,
was in a relationship. We just didn't know that yet. It was
okay.
Austin from Southern Charm, just if
Oh,
people want to
okay.
know. So. But he had a girlfriend. But oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun because you're single, you're confident. You're gonna ask all the questions, give all the numbers. We're gonna get a lot of fun tea. So you gotta keep your eyes peeled when we're watching if there's any one that you'd be interested in, because we
None
can
so
see if
far.
we. No, I feel like we haven't been doing the right shows for that. The single men are on Southern Charm. No, there's nobody there for that we would like. Oh,
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules, the new one, they're gonna have a screening of, so we get a little sneak peek of that. We'll find someone.
Okay.
Not Captain Jason though. That's not your
No,
style.
that's not my style, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll find someone else. Brittany was like, I guess forgetting that Jared exists because she was flirting with
Oh my god,
everybody.
her flirting was so bad, Ashley. That's how I flirt, by the way, just so you know. That's just so you know, if you want, like, a prime example of how I flirt or try to flirt or call myself flirting, that is it. Yeah, it was so bad.
But I think if you're super hot, you don't have to flirt, right? So you're fine. You just have to be you and you get all the numbers. I mean, Brittany is obviously beautiful too, but she was a little awkward. What did you think of the deckhand she was flirting with? I
She was
don't
just
think
trying
he
to get
was.
in where she fit in, okay?
Yeah,
She was like, "You know what? I'm leaving here with something, okay? I'm leaving here with something, and not this unicorn with Jared's voice in it, okay?"
that's what I want to know. Like, these are the questions. Let's ask Captain Jason, how many housewives have you hooked up with? Let's ask
Oof.
Brittany, did you hook up with someone on this boat? Because we need to
Yeah,
know that.
yeah,
The cucumber allegedly is Whitney's. I can't remember who now, but someone posted that it was in the background of her talking. But who was in her room? They shared rooms, right?
yeah,
Could have
I
been some.
forgot who's in Whitney's room, but, like, what would that cucumber be for?
I don't know. I think they were trying to insinuate.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
definitely insinuating that it was for pleasure, not snacking purposes pleasure, but,
No.
like,
Why wouldn't you just
very
bring like a
short and
vibrator?
fat.
Yeah.
It was very short and fat, like, just bring a vibrator, like,
Also, isn't it illegal to bring food like in the airplane like that? Or can you not bring food?
sometimes it's yeah, like produce, but I think it's like, I don't know, I remember when I was coming back from Jamaica, I, like, threw away my mango because they were like, "You can't bring
Yeah.
any
They're
food," so I
strict
was
about
like,
it, right?
yeah, they're strict about it, but I don't know, like, I just like, first of all, you're sharing rooms, so even if you did bring your vibrator, like, it's just not the place for it.
No. Yeah, I think they should be able to go a few days without that, but I don't know. Maybe it was a setup. Like that cucumber maybe was already on the ship and they were just trying to be funny, make it a little thing.
Yeah, I
On Watch What Happens Live, the cucumber had a little segment. You know how I said they used like a prop for the question? So they had the cucumber asking questions.
mess messy boots.
Yeah. Did you like Bronwyn's outfit
No, I
costume?
hated it.
She likes the costume.
It's a
That's
lot.
her
She does
thing.
a lot. I don't like it. Her style, even in her confessionals, it's like I'm surprised Bronwyn came. She went against the advice of her
Mhm.
husband. I thought for sure Bronwyn wasn't gonna come, but
Oh. Yeah, I was surprised too. I don't know if it's worth it for her. Her and Brittany had a little chat in their rooms. I can't believe they're sharing a room. That's so funny to me, but
yeah,
somebody had to do it, and they're the 2 newbies, so I think they got stuck together because of
yeah,
that, but
yeah,
I'm kind of impressed by Brittany because she will, like, with this conversation with Bronwyn, she was kind of, like, calling her out a little bit, like, she's
yeah.
not scared to say stuff to people's faces. She doesn't always know what she's talking about, but, what did you think of Bronwyn saying none of the ladies had checked on her? Like, not nobody saw if she was okay except for Mary, right? Which
Very.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think it seems like to me like, and this is again my first time watching. Is Bronwyn new to the group? Is she pretty
Yes.
new? Okay, so
Last year was her first year.
okay, so I think that that has a lot to do with it. Like, that has a
Mhm,
lot like, being new to the group and, like, not really having those bonds, like, people
mhm.
don't really know their place and if it's inappropriate. Like, do you think that I'm calling to check on you to be nosy, or do you like or are you guys
Yeah.
genuinely interested in, like, if I'm okay? And I think these
That's
ladies would just be calling to be nosy, and they were just
I yeah.
like yeah, like, well, because 'cause they're already talking about it behind her back, so it's like, yeah, like, they didn't have a genuine interest in, like, if she
Mhm.
was okay or not, so I think
Yeah, I don't think they could win in that situation because if they didn't call her, she says, "No one checked on me," but if they called her, she'd be like, "You're all talking about it." So, I
yeah.
don't think they could win, but did you think Lisa was coming across as guilty when they had the chat and she's like, "I see what math you guys are doing, but it wasn't me."
Fuck yes, bitch, like, I
Yeah.
was like, "Girl, you done you're giving yourself up, like, you are giving yourself no one's even accusing you,
Mhm.
and you're just like, 'Wasn't me.'" Like, nobody said that it was, but now it totally was, like, you know what I mean? She totally gave herself up.
Well, something I thought was interesting is the girls were saying to Bronwyn, because you know how Bronwyn was like, it was 10 years ago, but they said 4 years ago. And then when you saw the flashback of Lisa talking to, who is this random lady we keep seeing who's like Amy, right?
Mm,
She's
mhm.
talking to Amy, and Amy's like, I used to live in the Bay Area with Bronwyn 4 years ago. We all knew her and we didn't really like her. So I'm like, this to me seems like a clear trail of like Amy knows Bronwyn from back and wherever. Amy gave Lisa this information, right? But I
Yeah,
also do know like pages like what we do dig up information, and a lot of pages had this stuff posted before they even started filming.
yeah.
So it's like a chicken and an egg thing, right? Like, did Lisa give the pages the info or did the pages give the info to Lisa? I don't necessarily think
Yeah.
she's going around digging stuff up. I think just like us, they all get DMs of stuff and she just kind of took it maybe and put it in the right places. But I don't know if she's really digging it up.
Yeah, no, I don't think that Lisa has the I don't know. I don't think that she's going to her computer and, like, digging stuff up and trying to find stuff. Do I think
Mhm.
that if the little birdie tells her something, then she looks into it further or has somebody look into it further? Sure. You know?
Uh-huh. Well,
Or
and she
have somebody that looks into stuff for her, maybe, because all of the girls say she's done it to all of them.
well, yeah, there's last season there was a clip of her, she had like some guy and she's like, go the distance on this. Like she has specific people in her life for the cyber security, she calls it. And so yeah, it is just a very big coincidence that Bronwyn just brought her lawsuits to the group, and then, like, a week later, it's all about Bronwyn. But also, I don't think Bronwyn has the leg to stand on really to be upset. It's like you're bringing out other people's lawsuits, so yours are
Yeah,
gonna get brought up too.
yeah,
It's just that's
it's her game.
they it's funny to see them get so upset. But they've all done this to each other. This is basically the entire plots of every season is digging up dirt on each other. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they're acting like this is such a big deal, and I don't know why Lisa's getting so upset. It's like if someone gets that upset, do you feel like that means they're guilty or not guilty? What do you take from it?
I feel like it, it's I don't know. It depends on your
Right?
personality, right? Because if somebody accused me of something that I didn't do, I think I would be upset, like, I'd be like, "I
Mhm.
didn't even do this and you guys are tripping," but would I, like, overreact like this? But I don't know, like, because my personality's so different, like, I'm like, "Bitch, I didn't say that shit, fuck you." Like, you know what I mean? But I don't think I'm like, "Get me off of this boat," like, I'm gonna go sit at the very edge of the boat, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would do that, like, I
Mhm.
just want John right now, like, you promise you'll come get me tomorrow? Like, I don't know that I would do all that, but that's very Lisa. Like, that's
Yeah.
very dramatic. And honestly, I think I mean her friend, like you get mad when people talk behind your back, but then you get mad when people tell you to your face. She's telling you to your face. I think you're the source of the dirt. Like,
Mhm.
and I mean, she could have handled it and been like, no, I'm not, or
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
I
I
think
almost feel
the
like
dirt. I think she's the source of the dirt.
yeah, when people get upset, it does feel more like they're innocent, right? Because if you know you did something and someone accuses you, it's more like, "No, I didn't." But you don't wanna get all worked up when you know they're right? Versus, like, being accused of something you didn't do is so frustrating, right?
I get that. Yeah.
And I do think Lisa in her interviews lately, and even on Watch What Happens Live, she's, like, in tears all the time. So I think she's just a very emotional person,
Mhm.
and now we can't tell, did she do it or did she not, because her reaction was so big, that's all you can focus on, but
Her reaction's so big to everything, like, she was
exactly.
worked up, and I don't even remember what the hell they were talking about in that clothing store, like, she was all
Yeah.
worked up, like, so I think that she's just a worked up person, like, so
Mhm.
I don't think that her reaction is really gonna be an indicator of if she did it or not, it's about her pattern, like, the girls say
Yeah.
that you've done this before. It's happened to everybody else, like,
Mhm.
if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck.
Mhm. But I do think, like, pages do dig up this dirt too, and so it's so hard to
Like
say
you
because it
said,
could have
she probably just puts it in the right place. Once she
mhm.
hears it, "Oh, have you heard this about Bronwyn? Have you this?" And then she makes sure it gets to the right hands to where it's gonna be.
Mhm. Because I know when the season finished last time, I think that was back in January-ish, Bronwyn was fighting with content creators about things, and so the I think what did Lisa say here? Conwyn, like, "You called me Conwyn," and then the pages were calling me that, but I think they were calling her Fraudwyn or something.
Yeah, it
So,
was 2. She called her
yeah.
Fraudwyn, but the page called her Conwyn.
Yeah.
So that
So,
wasn't really the mic drop that Bronwyn thought it was, like, it was 2 different
no.
names, so
I could yeah. I know, I'm like, I could see the pages posting it first, but then Lisa just repeats it. It's hard because when we'll get, like, tea on someone and it does make another cast member look bad, it makes one look good, that people think, like, "Oh, that cast member must have told you," like, with the, Megan's baby stuff, and everyone's like, "Well, you interviewed Joe's girlfriend, they must have told you." I think sometimes people are trying to put pieces together when it just that wasn't how it went, right? So,
yeah.
I think Lisa's kind of screwed either way because 'cause you're the one that's mad at Bronwyn, and this comes out right when you're having a fight with her. It's not
Yeah,
gonna look good for you,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah. She just needs to stop fighting with people, but I don't think she can do that, so
yeah,
it's her nature.
yeah.
Have you gotten seasick before?
I get seasick all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yes, like, and
That
it's
looks
very
painful.
recent, like, every time I get on a boat, I'm dizzy, I need to throw up, I used to be, like, a yacht girly living my best life and, like, yeah, like, go on the water. Absolutely not now. It happens every time I go on the water.
Oh, man. Is there,
Yeah.
like, a medicine you can take or anything?
Usually, I mean, when I was just in Jamaica for my birthday, we went on, we took a boat ride to a place, and on the way there, I got very seasick, like, or it might have been on the way back. But yeah, they give
Mhm.
you like some they either have Dramamine for that or they have like this beverage on the boat. It's like
Mhm.
a club soda mixed with like some lemon juice or lime juice. That really helped me but I get
Mhm.
seasick all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was not fun to watch Angie so sick. I was like, "Don't they have something for this?" Because you would think that happens a lot. I guess she didn't know because she said it was her first time on a boat, so
Yeah, they do have something for it. They do. They have Dramamine and they have like a beverage or something that's supposed to
mhm.
help. And the beverage really did help me. Like
I couldn't believe
I was up shaking ass like within the
oh,
2 so I was
it's magical. Um, I couldn't believe Aunt Mary was sitting there eating her fish, though, right beside Angie, who was trying not to barf.
yeah,
Uh, did you think Mary really wanted to keep Angie company, or she just wanted to stay out of the mess?
a little bit of both. She
Yeah.
seemed to really like care, but I would
Mhm.
like it seemed like she wanted to be in the mess. She was downstairs like, "Wait, I hear
Yeah.
oh, what's going on?" Oh, what I think she wanted to tell Angie, "I'll be right back. Let me go see
Yeah.
what's." Going
She wanted to hear the mess, but not have to sit there, which was smart because the water was getting thrown, which is I don't know why. As soon as they got on this boat, they started just throwing water at each other, which I listened
It was
to,
at first it was like a funny joke, right? Like, oh, whenever
yeah.
she mentions her boo, like, we're gonna throw water at her. And at first, when she threw water at her, I thought she said his name, but I'm like, no, you're just throwing water. Like she just picked up her drink and threw it on
Mhm.
her.
Yeah. I know,
See, I would
it's
have thrown your ass off the boat because now, bitch, we gonna fight because you hit me first. So I really can't be held accountable.
yeah.
Like you started it, right?
Well, even when they first started throwing it at Brittany, I'm like, "That's giving me the Stacy vibes from Potomac." Like, it's a little bit of bullying that because Brittany's already kind of the outcast, and they don't really like her, and now you're chucking water on her. It's like, she handled it fine, but it wasn't very
If it's
nice.
like a joke and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna spray you," like, you know what I mean, every time, but she dumped a pitcher of water on her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first time they did, it was a whole pitcher of water, so
Oh, I didn't know it was a pitcher. I thought it was a glass.
no, the first time she said
Oh my
what's the
gosh.
man's name? Jordan it
Oh,
was
Jared.
Jared. The first time she
Jared,
said
yes.
Jared, she literally picked up the pitcher and threw it on her. Yeah.
And then when the last one, when was that Brittany that threw it back at Meredith? And did she drop it and it like broke too? Or no, just the water?
Yeah, but that was because Meredith just threw it on her out of anger, not even out of
Yeah.
her saying Jared, so
Yeah. I was listening to Tamara's podcast because she was the first housewife to throw a drink on someone. And apparently, because it was wine and it didn't have ice in it, that's not assault. But if it has ice in it, that is assault. So these look like they had ice in them, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know about maritime law or on the boats, but so you know that now. If you wanna throw a drink on someone, clear liquid, no ice, and you're good to go,
It might be
apparently,
different
according
because
to Tamara, so
maybe the law is different because they're somewhere different, they have different laws
yeah, and I
and the
also think
option.
I I think it's silly. I mean, it's hard. No one should have water thrown on them, but also when they start suing each other and charging each other with things, it's silly, but then it gets out of hand, right? You throw water one day, and the next day there's punches thrown, and it sort of crosses that line
She
of,
threw
like,
water.
physical.
I think did she throw a glass too? Because I think Mary, yeah,
Yeah.
she threw a water, she threw a glass. Isn't she the one that's an attorney? Is she an attorney
Yeah.
or am I making that up?
She says she's an attorney. I mean, she obviously has the schooling to do so, but I don't think she's practiced for a long time, so
So maybe she's just like, I can do what I want because if you try and sue me, I got me covered. So
yeah.
I
Yeah, I thought
guess
that was kinda mean, but, what else did you think of the episode? Any final thoughts before we go?
Lisa's dramatic. That
Mhm.
fight was iconic. The cast, the crew members' reaction to it was so funny. Again, we get those awkward moments of them just screaming. The captain's trying to like get his, or not the captain, but the chef's trying to get his like little praise. Nobody gave a
Yeah.
fuck he was there.
No.
The crew are just like trying to serve their plates, and they're like,
That was so funny when they're screaming and they're like, "Here's your whitefish." It was like,
"Where's
I'm
your cheesecake?"
I thought it was crazy that Heather said they have a rule that they say stuff to people's faces. When did that start? Because they talk shit about each other all the time. So
I think Heather is trying to do the right thing by saying it to her face and not saying it behind her back. You've got to respect that. Like everything she
mhm.
said behind her back, she tried to say to her face. You obviously can't win either way. So, but I mean, at
Yeah,
least she said it to her face. Heather's not a fake ass bitch, so she said it to her, tried to say it to her face. So,
yeah. Yeah, I think it is a good rule to have, and they probably should do that, but I don't feel like they've been doing that at
we
all. So
definitely
they
haven't
should start.
incorporated that rule.
No. Well, it was a good episode, very entertaining. Oh, other big news is we're interviewing somebody from the show next week. So tell us any questions that you have for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We won't say who, just in case it doesn't happen. We always are nervous until it actually happens, but hopefully we are. So we're so excited. I have so many questions. So let us know what we should ask if you have any burning questions about what's been going on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I mean, I kind of want to know about all these boat hookups, who else hooked up with Captain Jason, but we'll ask more important things too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So we have our Love is Blind reunion episode out. We got other Bravo shows, Potomac, Orange County, Married at First Sight, and Selling Sunset. So lots of recaps out for you guys. What's your Halloween plans for the rest of the day?
I am going to head up to Castaic with my niece. She is going to be a duck. And so
Uh,
we all got duck onesies and we're going to take her trick-or-treating. So she's only one, so she'll just go to
that's so
the
cute.
houses and then we will watch spooky movies and hand out candy. How about you? What are
Well,
the kids
tonight
be and what are you guys doing for Halloween?
the kids are being, well, my older one's being Harry Potter, and the younger one is the green Harry Potter, like the Slytherin. They've never watched the movie or read the books. I don't know where they got this idea, but that's what they wanted to do because they're obsessed with the K-pop Demon Hunters. That's what we were going with, and that's all they listened to for the last 3 months. But now I guess that's not cool anymore for boys. That's what they learned at school. That they loved it at home, but I guess their friends were like, we're not doing that. So it was sort of a last minute switch to Harry Potter. I would have liked the K-pop Demon Hunters one, but no. So they're the Harry Potter things, and tonight is the biggest baseball game in Blue Jays history. Not
Okay.
to rub it in, but we did win the last one. If we win tonight, we win the World Series, which is crazy. Knock
I
on
know.
wood. Because last time I posted about it, they lost. So I'm trying to be quiet. I'm like not saying
Yeah, they're
anything,
not
but
gonna win, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I literally don't care.
no.
But
I
if my
was
sister heard me say that, she would literally crucify me. So go Dodgers.
tell her not to listen to this one. But
Go Dodgers.
it's at
I'm
5 o'clock.
always rooting for, you know what? I'm always rooting for my city, even though baseball's not my thing. I'm always rooting for my city. So go Dodgers. We're gonna kick your ass tonight.
Now we're gonna kick your ass.
We're gonna
But
kick your ass.
it's at 5 o'clock here. That's trick or
Yeah.
treat time. So I will say the dads and everyone is devastated. And my husband's trying to convince me, like, what if we have all, because we're going with like a group of friends in the neighborhood. He's like, what if all the dads come to our house to watch the baseball while you guys do the trick or treating? And I'm like, well, no. But also, I'm like, I really don't care to watch baseball. Like, of course, I'm rooting for our country and I'm excited, but would I sit and actually watch a full game? No. So I'm like, he's going to come for like an hour. And then I think my littlest one won't make it longer than that. So he's going to usually I would bring the little guy home because I get colder. He would stay out, but just because he actually is obsessed with baseball and I don't care that much, he's going to take the little guy home and I'll
That's fair.
be out with the crazy older ones for a bit. So yeah, we're going to do
That's
hot dogs, neighborhood friends over, baseball.
nice. That's nice. I
Yeah.
think my mom's making enchiladas. She's gonna bring enchiladas over, and we're just
Yum.
gonna hand out. I love handing out candy. That's always my favorite part, like seeing all the
Mhm,
costumes. And the little one, she doesn't really know what's going on. She doesn't eat sweets. She doesn't know what candy is. So we're just
mhm.
going to let her show off her costume. My other niece
Aw.
is not here. She is Daisy Duck. I got it.
Aw.
I got a picture of her on FaceTime. So the younger one's obsessed with ducks, so she was gonna be a duck. And then we wanted them to have matching costumes, so she's Daisy Duck. Let me cover my little trifling self. So she's
Oh, it's so cute.
Daisy.
Aw.
But
Oh,
she's
but
in
she didn't come.
she didn't come. So
Aw.
that's okay. Like, that's okay. Hopefully her mom takes her trick-or-treating out there. But last year we had her and it was just so cute watching her go up to the houses and watching her hand out all the candy. We actually ran out of candy because she was handing handfuls. The kids were loving it. She was like, boom, boom.
Aw.
And like we let her like, it was just so cute. She was like, bye, happy Halloween. So it was like the sweetest
Oh,
thing. But she's out of
that's so
here.
fun.
Yeah,
When they're like 2, as soon as they hit like 2 and they like can walk up to the houses and talk,
mhm.
and it's so cute. I'm so sad that we're now at 10 and he's basically running up the street away from me, and I'm like, "Come on, I miss when I used to come to the door with you," but
Oh,
it's
it's
still
just
fun, just different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun. Well, happy Halloween to everybody that's
Hap
listening. Be
Happy
safe out
Halloween.
there, and everybody, no drinking, no driving, just have fun. I don't have any adult party to go to. I wish I did. I have a sexy ass Cruella de Vil costume, but we'll just
Oh,
save her till next year.
if anyone's got a good party in LA, invite Ricky because
Hell
there's
yeah, I'm gonna be
tomorrow too.
handing out candy tonight. That's it.
Save it for Vegas. Costumes go in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.